sanctuary of Verna, high in the mountains of Tuscany, the place where St. Francis first received the Holy Stigmata. That's where we're going to begin the Camino of St. Francis, walking 110 miles from the sanctuary to the beautiful city of Assisi.
I'm calling to you. Hear my prayer, Saint Francis and Saint Clare. I am reaching out to you. You are there, Saint Francis and Saint Clare. Where would I go? What words could I say that would show me what I need today? And how will I know if you are by my side? I just can't deny the truth anymore.
The path leads into the forest. Here we go. We are leaving the road, heading into the woods, heading deeper into the Camino of St. Francis. Shining in me now, the peace of God is shining in me now. So now we're walking down. It's going to be a long walk down, all the way from the top of Monte Calvano, as you can see, starting to head to the town where we'll be staying for the night. So follow me. I first had the idea to write the book Giovanni and the Camino of St. Francis when I was walking this very same stretch back in 2011. And when you're walking like this, especially in such a beautiful forest, you feel the inspiration, and of course you also feel St. Francis. And I imagined this woman around my age, maybe a little bit of older, walking on her own spiritual journey, meeting this young man, Giovanni. And I just kind of played it out. Over the years, for so many years, I thought about it. At first it was going to be a movie, wrote a script, but finally sat down and decided to write the book out. And I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy with how the story turned out. It's so dear to my heart. And now that I'm walking the Camino again, getting to relive it as Anna lives it in the book, I can almost feel Giovanni walking next to me as well. So it's just such a beautiful gift.
Lord, we are your instruments. Where there's hatred, we will bring your love. Where there's injury, pardon. Oh Lord, teach me. Where there's despair, we will bring your hope. And where there's doubt, bring your faith.
All right, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm tired. I don't think I could walk 5 more steps if I had to. I have to say the most challenging part of this was there's a sign off the main road that says the B&B. You think you're there, you think, okay, I made it. You take the road and it's another mile up and down hills before you finally get to this spot with the grapes and everything else. So this is the end of day 1. It was a very challenging trip. Lots of ups and downs and mainly a lot of downs. But I'm so glad that we all made it safely here to the end of day 1 on the Camino of St. Francis. So let's get some rest. We'll start on day 2 tomorrow. See ya. So just when I think the day is over, I have to have surgery on my neck. I have this ingrown hair and it's getting pretty bad.
Nome del Padre, del Figlio e dello Spirito Santo. Grazie, grazie. Allora, guarda, vedi, questi sono gli attrezzi del mestiere.
I don't know what's happening here. I'm very nervous.
Lei si appoggia qui con questo orecchio.
Sì, andiamo con la macchina, ma non è che dobbiamo salire e scendere. Ci manca l'ombrellino. Ma Sergino!
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia!
Mamma mia. Dice, se lo dice lei, mamma mia. Vediamo
I've never had surgery in the rain before.
che ha detto.
So here we are on day 2 of the Camino of St. Francis. Yesterday was incredible, very hard, very difficult, it being the first day, of course. And of course the minor surgery that I had to endure, but I'm feeling much better. It's going to look a bit strange here having this big bandage, but better than it did before. Anyway, today we're going to be walking, I think only about 10 kilometers today, so it's not going to be very far, which I'm very grateful for. But it's going to be pretty amazing. It's a beautiful day. Hopefully we will be spared the rain. Anyway, let's go. Let's start the Camino.
Csodás képet a főoltár felé helyezték. Ez egy másik templom. Ez
We're here in the Church of St. Stephen's here in this small Italian town. And this is where we really begin walking at day 2. It's going to be a long journey as we walk through the mountains, a lot of ups and downs again, but it's nice to be able to come and visit these small churches and the different villages and towns as we come closer and closer to Assisi.
us from the unreal.
Feels like this hill is never going to end. We just keep going up higher and higher, but you can see the valley below. That's where we started. It's amazing, but well worth it, so come on.
To life, what life? Oh God, the Almighty, let there be peace on earth and all celestial regions. May the waters be appeasing, and may the herbs all be wholesome, and may the trees and the plants bring peace to all. Whoa, whoa, to all. Shanti, Shanti, unto all. O God, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness into light, from death to life. What life? Shanti, Shanti, unto all. Shanti, Shanti, unto all.
So we've reached the top of the mountain to the Eremo di Cerbiolo. I think I said it right. It was quite a climb, but it's so beautiful to be here at this beautiful hermitage that a woman named Chiara rebuilt after World War II. And it's also here in this spot where in the book Giovanni and the Camino of St. Francis, where Anna and Giovanni first come together. They spend the night here, of course, trespassing, having gone in through the back door. It's wonderful for me to be able to come back here. And even though the hermitage is no longer open, for us to have made the climb to the very top of the mountain, as difficult as it was amazing. And as you can see from earlier, the surgery is holding up well. It's funny to have this big bandage on my neck, but I think it's symbolic of so many things. When we walk the Camino of our everyday lives, that we have to attend to the body as well as the spirit. And we're doing both here. I'm attending to what I need to attend to take care of myself, but my spirit is soaring as we spend time in a hermitage like this beautiful one that Chiara rebuilt.
Choose to be who you are now, for who you are is holy and true. The light is shining so bright where you are now. The light is shining so bright inside of you. Where would you go now? Where would you go now? Where would you go now? My arms are open wide. Why don't you stay now?
After that incredible climb up the mountain, heaven awaits. We come to an oasis where there's this spring, this water flowing from the ground, which is great because I was out. My bottle was empty. So I, once again, am so grateful to St. Francis and St. Clare for this beautiful gift.
Though many others live so far across the ocean, I do believe.
Oh, it's the end of day 2 in our Camino of St. Francis. I'm so happy to have arrived. You can see we have tents over here. We have a beautiful house. Everyone is getting ready to see where our rooms are going to be. Another day complete. Congratulations to you as well, following through on this whole journey. Even though you're not walking it physically, spiritually, you're right here at our side. We can feel you. So come on, let's go inside.
They rush around us against our will.
So today is day 3 of the Camino of St. Francis. As you can see, we are ready to go. It is early because we have, I think it's 25 kilometers to walk today. So it's going to be longer, but we're going to be stopping at the Eremo de Monte Casale, which in the book is a very special scene. I love that scene because I've been to the monastery before. I've been able to interact with the friars there. It was a great inspiration for me when I was actually writing the book. So I'm really anxious to get back there. I'm really anxious to show it to you so you can see it live. And it's going to be a great day. It's beautiful, it's early, and even though my legs are aching, I'm ready to go. So let's do it. After starting the day off with a steep climb, already too hot, so I think I'm gonna take this off and go on without it. Let's go.
May all beings plagued by all ills quickly be freed now, according to thy will. May all who are frightened cease to be afraid, and all that are bound now be freed in every way.
Back to being mountain goats.
May we see each other as the perfect one. May we come to realize who we are.
So as you can see, the first half hour of this journey on day 3 is pretty hard, pretty straight up. It just goes to show you that the Camino of St. Francis is not for novice hikers. It's pretty difficult in places like this, and you have to really know what you're doing. You have to be strong. In fact, I've been spending so much of my time doing the chant, I am strong. I am strong. Using the power of the name of God, I am, in order to amplify the strength that's within me. I didn't do it on day one, and I suffered much more. And today and yesterday, I've been feeling that I am presence within me, feeling the strength as it wells up inside me. It makes all the difference. Come on.
May we come to see each other as the Buddha, and to see our own reflection. Our own reflection. In a star.
So we've been walking for about maybe 2.5 hours, I think. And we just arrived at this beautiful B&B set off in the woods. I don't know how far away from town. I think we're still about a 2-hour walk before we get to the next village. And then, of course, I think it's about another hour and a half before we get to the Eremo of Monte Casale. It's a long walk today, but coming to a little B&B like this in the middle of the woods is like a little oasis. So we're very happy. So we've arrived at the Palazzo B&B, which puts us maybe a half hour from Montagna, which is getting us closer to the Eremo. And pretty much we've gone the same distance so far today as we've gone for the last 2 days. So, and we're still very far away from our final destination. And you know, as I've said before, it really takes focus to overcome the aches and the pains and the ups and the downs. So we're all, I think, in the same place, just hoping to overcome all of that so we can make it all the way to Assisi.
His own. Not that we may despise, but to know each one. If my enemy be inclined toward peace, then so inclined shall I be, and trust in the Lord, who knows all things, knows all things. God's will for me is perfect happiness. God's will for me is perfect joy. God's will for me is perfect What would God say through you when your words do not matter?
So it's day 4 of the Camino of St. Francis. Yesterday was a real stretch. I think we went double what we went for the first 2 days, about 30 kilometers, I think. So we're all a little tired, and it's going to be a beautiful walk today. We're going to be walking first out of the town of San Sepolcro to Cicerna, and then further on, where I hear we have a really nice surprise waiting for us when we get to the final stage of the journey.
Azt mondták volna este, akkor előkerestem.
Day 4 begins. Come on.
Come, let us go now up to the mountain of the Lord, that we may walk the paths of the Most High. Come, let us go. Come, let us go. And we will beat our swords in the plowshares, and our spears into pruning.
So we have arrived in the medieval village of Cicerna. It's wonderful to be here. After about 7 years when I was here the one time, and I envisioned this town when I was writing the book Giovanni and the Camino of St. Francis. But it's so beautiful to come back and to see it come to life again, to remember the adventure that Anna and Giovanni had with the young woman that they met. And the big long climb up the hill has brought about a well-deserved break. So maybe you can come and have a cappuccino with us.
Almighty One, my God, the great thumb I cannot evade, to tie any knot. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Roaring thunder that splits the mighty trees, all-seeing Lord.
Here we are. This is our destination at the end of day 4, if you can believe that. Boy, that last climb was treacherous. We didn't even get to get any footage of it because we were puffing so hard and breathing so hard. But we made it. Feels like we're at the top of the world. And as you're going to see, there's a swimming pool waiting for us. So come on, let's go check it out.
My heart's on fire with love for you. There's nothing more that I want to do, oh, than spend my life beholding you. That's all I want to do. I am at home within you now. How could I leave and wonder how your precious light enfolds me now? Oh, and I will allow, 'cause you're everything to me. You are everything that I see. You are every breath that I'll ever breathe. Everything to me, everything to me, everything.
Köszönöm szépen. Az alsó ember figyelj.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 5. Is this day 5?
Yeah.
So that means after today, we're halfway to Assisi. And it's easy at this point to get worried or to complain or to, be disconcerted. But if we keep it simple, then it gets a lot easier. So we're going to sing a little song about keeping it simple. It's called Be Like a Child Today. Be like a child today. Don't overcomplicate what is simple. Whoa, so simple. Love's power in you is strong. You don't need to wait so long. It's simple. Yeah, so simple. I do believe that you can finally see what I've tried to get you to understand. It isn't hard to see what has always been true. If you take my hand, just take my hand. Be like a child today. Looking out over these many fields of dead sunflowers, it can make us feel like we've come to a point in our own lives where we're no longer blooming, we're no longer contributing in the way we were before, but every seed that we put out is what leads to what's new, the new life, the new energy that's in our lives and in the world. Finding this small baby sunflower has reminded me of that. Even though it looks like decline and death all around us, new life is also abundance. That's why I love walking the Camino. So let's go. We're doing pretty well together. It's about 10:40 in the morning, and I think we've been walking for a little bit over an hour, straight down then straight up. It amazes me how few level places there are on this Camino. It is up and down constantly, very challenging, very difficult, especially early in the morning. But after this, we have 5 days to go, so we're on the final stretch. So we've arrived at our lunch spot. Very grateful for that. It's already been a tough climb and a tough descent on day 5, and we're going to be entering into an even tougher one as we move toward another Eremo, which in the story Giovanni and the Camino of St. Francis is where Anna and Giovanni meet two different friars, one who is very helpful and one who is not. And I'm hoping for the helpful one on this trip. We could all use a little bit of help getting up that hill, I think. So let's go have some lunch.
De meddig? Mindig ezt kérdezem, meddig?
Hányszor kell megbocsájtani?
Jaj,
Nem 7-szer.
So we're on day 6 of our Camino of St. Francis, and already there has been some stirring, which is normal in a situation like this. When you get a group of people together, you've been walking, you're tired, you're exhausted, things are going to come up. The question really is, how do we deal with those things? So what happened this morning was that there were some people who didn't hear that there was going to be a car taking us a few kilometers up the road, and they were up at 6 a.m., walked instead, so they weren't really happy. But these are the challenges that we encounter on any Camino, especially the Camino of our lives. And once again, it's just really how we allow these to transform us. And this is a good opportunity to do that. Usually at this stage of a Camino, about halfway, all the stuff comes up to be healed. And that's certainly been happening this morning, but we're just going to endure and keep praying and move past it all. So let's start day 6. Here we go. So we've come to the top of the first major hill here on day 6. This is definitely one of the more challenging days. We're walking about 30 kilometers. As always, up and down a lot of hills, and we've had a couple of people who have gone ahead just because they needed a little bit of a rest, which I totally understand. But we're going to keep moving forward here, so I hope you're doing all right. Let's go. We've come to an interesting place in the road here. It goes in, I think, 3 different directions. Oh, for the first time I see one of the towers up here, pretty well hidden. Even a sign here that has nothing on it. We were kind of confused, but we've deciphered the small signs that have showed us the way to Assisi. As we get closer and closer to that mystical town, the signs are getting smaller and smaller, more and more subtle, but richer as well. So I think we figured out which way to go, and we're going to keep walking. So here we go.
May all beings plagued by all ills quickly be freed now, according to thy will. Entertaining angels, I'm opening the door. Everyone who comes to me is an angel to adore. The angel that I've been waiting for. Every child that comes to me, I feel the heavens unfold, and every smile that shines in me is an angel that I can hold. The angel that I've been waiting for.
Well, we've arrived at Pietralunga at the end of our 6th day, and man, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I have a feeling I'm going to be aching tonight. In fact, my hip has come out, and I'm just so grateful to my dear friend Meshi, who's holding the camera right now. She was the one who stayed behind and made sure I got up all of those hills, and I think it's time for a well-deserved rest and a great dinner with some good wine. So let's see what we can do. So you may be wondering why they are all leaving for day 7 and I am not. Well, here's what's happening. My hip has gone out, and I decided that it would be a good day to just not stress my hips or my legs, and we're going to be taking a day of rest in the town of Gubbio. So now we're on the bus and we're heading out toward Gubbio, the next town, on the Camino of St. Francis, and we decided to have a day of exploration and maybe just give you the chance to see this beautiful medieval town of Gubbio. So we're going to head in that direction now. We're going to give you a tour, we're going to show you around, and let the others do the walking for the day. So let's go to Gubbio. Just arrived in the town of Gubbio, which is the site of a very important legend in the life of St. Francis. Francis and the Wolf of Gubbio, and as you can see, we have the first statue of many that we're going to see here of that legend. Many people believe that it wasn't a physical wolf that Francis tamed and allowed entry into the city, but probably a bandit that was called the Wolf. But still, legends grow and the stories of St. Francis continue, but this entire town has been built upon that one story of the Wolf of Gubbio. So day 7 of the Camino of St. Francis. I'm happy to have the chance to let my legs and hip rest, to be able to come up here and hear these beautiful sounds and to see these beautiful sights in Gubbio. This ancient town, as old as Assisi, if not older. I mean, just listen to that for a moment. That's an ancient sound that's rung across this valley for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. I know, for example, Assisi, its foundations were laid in the Roman times, and I'm sure Gubbio is very much the same. And as we arrive here, having taken a little bit of a rest from the walking, of course, only a few of us did that. The rest of them are still out there. I'm just filled with gratitude. for this whole journey, for the opportunity to share everything. This beautiful, unique way that we're bringing you in on this amazing trek. And whether you're actually physically walking and feeling the aches and the pains of the Camino, or whether you're just tuning in to what your own life is bringing. You know, we're all on a Camino. We're all walking the way. St. Francis walked the way, and now we're called to do the same, to confront the difficulties. You know, if everything was flat, we were always walking on flat ground, where would the challenge and where would the blessing be? Obviously, as you've seen so far, the Camino of St. Francis is just one long hill up and down, constantly challenging us. And that's how life is as well. So for me to take a day of rest as we walk through this beautiful, beautiful city of Gubbio and be reminded of how blessed we are to have had this trek, these mountains, the aching muscles, the hip, all of it is a blessing when we see it in that light.
Stay simple, stay humble, and stay awake with me. I've heard you calling, and I have answered with everything that you need. Oh, with everything that you need. Be like the birds of the air, the flowers in the field. For only then will your heart be healed, be healed. Stay simple, stay humble, and stay awake with me. Your heart is open and will remain if you but choose to see, if you but choose to see my face in everyone, in everything, everywhere you go. Then, like the flower, you will open, and you will know, you will know. Stay simple, stay humble, and stay awake with me. There is an answer so deep within you. This truth alone will set you free. This truth alone will set you free. Just stay simple, stay humble.
So now that we're all back together here in Gubbio, we have come to the Fountain of the Fool, and tradition is you have to run 3 times around it and have a local spray water on you. And if you do that, then you get the special certificate certifying that you are a fool. Now, I personally did this a few years ago, so I've been a fool for a long time. but it's wonderful to introduce the whole group to this strange foolishness here in Gubbio, beautiful Gubbio. So as you can see, Gubbio is far off in the distance now. We're climbing those hills. We have dogs and animals all around us, but the climb in the day is good. So let's keep going. Let me tell you, there are hills, and then there are hills. This is a hill. Okay, it's day 8, and you know, day 1 was the day of big surgery, and we're still healing. But we have a special something here that is going to help heal even faster. What is it you're going to give to me?
I've got a collection of Star Wars plasters.
Star Wars bandages.
Oh, bandages.
And so which one do you think is going to be the most helpful?
There are small ones, but I think you should take the big one.
Master Yoda.
Master Yoda, definitely someone from the good side.
Someone from the good side, yes.
To help you.
Okay, so
here
go
you
ahead and
go.
show that to the camera. Let's get a close-up of Master Yoda.
The big version.
What would God say through you when your words do not matter? What would love clearly do when your mind forgets the chatter of words that you say but don't really mean? The price you pay when love remains unseen. What would God say through you if you opened up your heart? What would God say through you if you opened up your heart?
riposo ti conforti e ti dia la forza per continuare il tuo cammino verso Assisi. Questo lo puoi tradurre così. Questo Zorro, nel nome di Cristo ti accogliamo in questo ospedale di San Pietro in Minuto. Che il riposo ti conforti e ti dia la forza per continuare il tuo cammino.
So it's day 9 of the Camino of St. Francis. Wow, I can't believe we've already walked through so many trails and mountain passes and towns and little B&Bs, convents and monasteries. We have one more good stretch here today in day 9, and then tomorrow we are on our way to Assisi. And today, I'll say, is a medium hard day. We've got some good hills. We're going about 19 kilometers, I think. But starting off with the bell, gathering the troops, I think we're ready to go. So let's get everybody together and do it.
Buon cammino.
Thank you. Day 9, here we come. We've been starting off the days with 1 hour of silence, walking together, but not chit-chatting, just allowing the experience to deepen. So we're going to invite you to join us in that now.
Másfél kell? Igen, akkor
Nem? Nem sors. Ez a hosszúkás, az nem sors.
So it's after a good lunch. Now we're gonna head on and headed into town. Got about another 13 kilometers to go, I think. It's such a beautiful day, and a beautiful day for day 9 of the Camino of St. Francis. So it's the end of day 9 on the Camino of St. Francis, and we are in the town of Valfabrica. And as you can see, we have stumbled into a beautiful festival. That's one of the beautiful things about going on a Camino like this. You never know what's going to be happening in the next town. And as you can see in this little Italian town, they're celebrating autumn. I'm not really sure exactly what they're celebrating. All I know is that everyone is out. Everyone is having fun, and for us, as we prepare for day 10 of our Camino, as we walk into Assisi, this is the perfect way for us to begin that, or to end everything that came before, and to finally come to a beautiful close to our Camino. Day 10 on the Camino of St. Francis. Here we are. We're going to start our walk. As you can see, everyone behind me is ready to go. Walking up the hill, down the hill, and into Assisi. I hope you are as excited as we are. It's going to be another push because we do have a pretty big hill to go up. But that's pretty much every day here on the Camino of St. Francis. And after the festivities of last night, well, I think we're ready. So why don't you come and join us? We're going to have an amazing walk into the town of Assisi. Let's go. So for the first time, we can see Assisi in the distance. What a sight. It's going to get closer and closer now that we've actually been able to lay eyes upon it way off into the distance. We know that every step brings us a little bit closer. So come on, let's get there.
When I am hungry, give me someone that I can feed. And when I am thirsty, show me someone who needs a drink. And when I'm cold, give me someone to keep warm. understanding. Give me someone to console. And when my cross grows too heavy and its weight I cannot bear, and when I need someone to hold me, and it seems no one is there to lighten up my heavy load, give me someone who deserves to be loved just as I do. Give me someone that I can serve.
Every hill has been climbed, every valley has been forged, and we arrive at last on day 10 in Assisi. And you did it with us. You were right here at our side the entire time. And as hard as it has been, as much sweat and as many aches and pains as we have endured, it has all been worth it. Here we are now in the piazza of the Basilica of San Francesco. This is the final destination of the Camino, and it's right here in this spot in 1986 when Pope John Paul II called the leaders of the 12 major religions together to pray the peace prayers from each of their traditions. Something happened here in this piazza that changed the world, and it was all because of that little man from Assisi, Francesco, who decided to do something completely foolish, which was to see if it was possible to actually do what Jesus said, or to live the way that Jesus lived. And I think for each one of us, especially those of us who walked the Camino, whether you walked with us physically or whether you've been on this virtual journey with us, to be able to be here and to end up at this beautiful spot, this beautiful piazza, where it all happened, is quite an amazing feat. And we're so happy that you could join us on this amazing journey, the Camino of St. Francis.
Lord, we are your instruments. Where there's hatred, we will bring your love. Where there's injury, pardon. Oh Lord, teach me. Where there's despair, we will